I'm Armin Adina representing the Philippine Daily Fund.
There would be an exclamation at the end.
I'd like to know, were you able to speak with Diana Moreno when she was here in the Philippines after you received the Binibini Pilipinas Globe Crown?
Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to meet her. Everybody's schedules differ, and especially after the coronation night, we also had to be interviewed and we also had to have a series of photo shoots done. So sadly, our schedules didn't align, but I'm really looking forward to meeting her come the Miss Globe, because for sure she'll be around us candidates with the activities. And we've just actually recently received the calendar of activities, so it's a jam-packed 2 weeks, that's for sure.
But based on your observation of Diana Moreno while she was here, why do you think was she able to win the title?
I think she's a very personable and warm person. I did get a few seconds of interaction as they made their way to the judges' table while I was backstage praying before the coronation night started. And just from that very short interaction of, saying good evening and, welcome to the Philippines, and her responses, I got a grasp that she is a very warm person. And I think with the Miss Globe's mission being to foster a sense of camaraderie among nations and not only find common ground with our culture, but also to really cement the appreciation for the arts and history in Europe, especially in Albania. They're really big on promoting tourism as well. I think being warm and just knowing how to talk to people and make them feel welcome really did go a long way in her championing what Miss Globe is all about. And so I think that's something that comes naturally to all of us Filipinos. We're very warm, we're known across the globe for our hospitality, so no wonder that a lot of our Miss Globe queens really did well in this competition, and hopefully I'm no different in that sense.
Thank you very much and the best of luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm Gavin Mapayas from Rappler. So first of all, congratulations Annabelle, and we wish you all the best for Miss Globe 2025. So for my question for you, this is not your first time representing Philippines in an international stage. For Miss Globe 2025, which aspect of Philippine culture do you plan to highlight the most?
The aspect of Philippine culture that I would like to highlight the most, aside from our hospitable nature, of course, would definitely be Philippine textiles. I think that's something that we've been sleeping on for a little too long. We have so many different textiles from different regions across the country, and it's sad that sometimes we end up patronizing global brands rather than our own, when in fact our own textiles can stand on their own in international markets if given the chance. So that's really something that I've been working on. I really would love to integrate as much textiles as possible into my wardrobe, and that's why I'm very grateful to have the support of our Filipino designers in this regard. So tag ko na lang sila, bawal pang i-reveal, sorry!
Yes, I think we're all excited to see that. And then for my last question, you have been very vocal about your advocacy for children's rights and welfare in the Philippines. So how do you want to embody and amplify this cause on an international level at Miss Globe?
Of course, I'd like to just reiterate or introduce to a larger audience what championing children's rights is all about. We also think that we can't be advocates because we can't be a philanthropist, but they're not necessarily the same thing. And you can do so much for children, even if you just have to give your time or render your services or volunteer work in terms of championing children's rights. And my experiences as a volunteer with Save the Children Philippines is something that I'd like to carry and introduce to my sisters who I'll be meeting very soon in Albania. Just basic concepts of children's rights, how to protect them, even social media approaches when it comes to approaching these charities. I think it's something that we can all learn from, and it's not really that hard to do or get started with when it comes to championing them. I think we all can find common ground in the sense that all countries of the world are invested in their youth. The youth has always been the foundation of what their country's progress will look like in the years to come. And just knowing that and reiterating that message for sure will go a long way in getting more people involved with this mission. To Save the Children isn't just based in the Philippines, it's an international NGO as well. So hopefully, I'll meet allies there in this cause.
Thank you so much. Kasi one of the most exciting parts of your preparation is meeting Maureen Montaigne. And I remember you uploading your meeting on your Instagram account. So, ano yung mga napag-usapan nyo and what was the most meaningful advice that she gave you?
Well, hindi ko naman i-disclose lahat, no? Some of it's a lot of girl talk. So, but nonetheless, yes, I did have dinner with Maureen and Sir Jim, you know, we all had dinner together a while back, and I think the most important, rather the gist of what I really absorbed from that dinner was being prepared really sets you up for success. Success isn't some kind of abstract idea or some kind of abstract destiny that you just wish will befall you. It's something that you really prepare for and work towards. And that's something that really motivated me to keep on track of my diet. You know, that's really hard to do, especially since we're in World Kitchens. I mean, but in all seriousness, it really motivated me to stay track and to just keep on going at it with regards to training, not to be complacent and say, hey, you know, I've trained enough. I probably should just put the towel and call it a day. It really motivated me to stay on track. But at the same time, she really did give me a lot of nuanced advice in terms of what the Miss Globe Queen's responsibilities will be, especially when she won the crown and she got a whole year with them. She explained to me the nuances in her experiences, and also a lot of cultural things to just be mindful of when I get to Albania. So that's really what I learned from her, and I'm really, really appreciative towards Maureen for taking the time to give me all that advice.
Okay, thank you for that. Last question. One of the most awaited segments of the competition is the head-to-head challenge. And I mean, we all know you are a very prolific speaker. So at this point, how are you still preparing for what we consider your biggest advantage in the competition? Is there such a thing as overtraining or over-preparing for that segment, knowing your caliber as a speaker?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. That's very flattering to hear. I still get quite flattered when people compliment me on my prowess, especially because I do host events and stuff. So that's still very flattering. But nonetheless, I don't think there really is such a thing as overtraining, especially when you're in the moment of being into a head-to-head challenge. Q&A and debate is slightly different in the sense that there's definitely more adrenaline, much more emotions, I'd say, when you're going head-to-head with someone. And I think that's where training comes most important. It's when you want to disentangle yourself from any too much emotional charge and to really just remain logical and objective about how you go about your arguments. And in that sense, I think I really do have to train. I do get a little passionate sometimes, so that's something that I'll be keeping in check. Not too much, not too little, just right. I think that's what the approach that we are applying come Miss Globe.
We're looking forward to that this coming October. Thank you very much, Annabelle. Good luck and congratulations in advance.
Thank you so much, Adam.
In Albania.
I think I'm just as excited as I was the very first time around to compete internationally and to represent the country. However, at the same time, I think now I can definitely be more relaxed. Not taking anything for granted, but relaxed just enough to trust in myself and more importantly, trust the process of training that I've undergone with Aces and Queens from my very first national pageant up until now. I'd like to thank Sir Jim Ryan Ross, who's my makeup artist, and Tito Jerry Diaz from Aces and Queens, and all the mentors from Aces and Queens who've really been with me each and every step of the way, preparing me and honing me And of course, to all the Philippine media, you guys have been very kind to me ever since I became a Bini Bini candidate. So yeah, thank you so much for not only the kindness, the jokes that we make on and off cam, but also just giving me a platform and giving my causes also, like my partnerships with Save the Children Philippines a platform as well. And now and then I am still very much excited, but this time around I'm much more calm and I'm not sweating the small stuff anymore, that's for sure.
Just a follow-up question. Okay. As a pageant veteran, in your opinion, what is the most important lesson that you've learned that you can learn, and in order to stay and remain humble when you get there, that you can apply when you get there in anything?
Well, definitely one of the best lessons I've learned as a pageant veteran, you'd say, or somebody experienced with pageants, would definitely be being open to change. Anything can happen at any time, and letting go of the small details, letting go of that control, and just surrendering everything to God just makes everything easier to bear, easier and lighter to deal with. Obviously, we make all our plans, outfit-wise, or whatever it may be, whether it be strategy or some pasarela trick or two. But at the end of the day, sometimes God has other plans, and that doesn't necessarily mean that He's denying you or rejecting you. But in my experience, it's always been some kind of blessing in disguise, and it just takes enough patience and trust to have that blessing unveil itself on its own, even if it may not look like a blessing in the present moment when you're experiencing something. So that's something that I've learned from all the pageants that I've been through, and it's something that will definitely be a humbling, something that humbles me for sure and keeps me grounded, not only with pageants but in life in general.
So, medyo sanay ka na rin mag-compete sa ibang bansa. But, this time may pressure pa rin ba? I mean, of course, we all know na maganda yung performance natin sa Miss Globe in the past years.
Well, admittedly, there is kind of a pressure, not just because it's my second international pageant, but also because we have really done exceedingly well in the Miss Globe pageants in the later years. But as I've said time and time again, pressure is something that should be welcomed and should be met with a sense of determination to own up to it rather than to back down from it. Because I think pressure is just high hopes, and I think the reason why people have high hopes for someone like me is because they do believe in me and my capabilities, and that's something that I should be flattered with rather than be pressured about.
Okay, well said. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Paul.
And best of luck.
Miss Globe 2020.
I think I should be the next Miss Globe because I understand where people are coming from. I've understood what it feels like to be marginalized, what it feels like to be left out of conversations, and what it feels like to be judged on how you look like or where you come from or what accent you're speaking with. And when it comes to fostering camaraderie across a global community, I think I'd definitely be somebody that's ready to connect with people based on where they're coming from, and moreover inspire them to be more than what other people have told them that they can be. I'd want to inspire them to believe in the beauty of their dreams, but also believe that that each one of us, no matter what our culture, no matter what our region is from, we all have something to contribute to humanity, and we can all do our part within ourselves and within our community to make this world a better place. I think with so much divisiveness nowadays, we all need to go back to being rooted in our humanity, having a sense of compassion, humanity for one another, and we can face everything together. Thank you.
Ay, umabot sa tayo mo. Thank you.